back in 1927 an American socialist. Norman Thomas, 6 times candidate for president on the Socialist Party ticket, said the American people would never vote for socialism. But he said under the name of liberalism, the American people will adopt every fragment of the socialist program.
400 Americans now have amassed more wealth than 50% of the American households combined. 400 people have more than 155 million people combined. Is that the, I'm sorry, that's not the country I live in. I refuse to participate in this. The people aren't going to take it anymore. The people are going to demand justice. They're going to demand that your ass is in jail. You've taken our money, we want the money back. You've taken our jobs overseas, we want those jobs back. Those are our national resource. Those are not yours to do with as you please. They affect all of us as a society. We have a right to those jobs. We have a right to that money that used to belong to the people of this country.
They're sitting on the money. They're using it for their own, they're putting it someplace else. They have no interest in helping you with your life, with that money. We've allowed them to take that. That's not theirs. That's a national resource. That's ours. That we all have this. We all benefit from this, or we all suffer as a result of not having it.
When you look at the fact that 93% of the nation's wealth is in 1% hands, and most of that wealth is inherited wealth, those are the people who need to be targeted, but those are the people who are somehow convincing the Tea Party that we are the ones damaging them, when it's not. It's the people who are orchestrating them to be doing what they're doing. Does that make sense?
What's so cynical about this is that the very people who don't pay their taxes crashed our economic system. They created the unemployment, which has caused less tax revenue. And states like Wisconsin have ended up with a so-called budget crisis.
We're not broke. Wisconsin isn't broke. America isn't broke. We have trillions of dollars in our economy. The problem is that the money isn't where it needs to be. Those 400 people, and the upper 1%, their allies, took that money out of circulation. They took that money, and it's not there anymore. And they're not being taxed appropriately. And that's why that money isn't there. There's a revenue problem.
As for those suggestions that the answer is higher taxes, the American people have repeatedly rejected that shop-worn advice. They know that we don't have deficits because people are taxed too little. We have deficits because big government spends too much.
On Facebook, there's been a status going around for a couple weeks now that says, why is it when you ask the top income people, that 1%, when you ask them to pay a 3% tax, they call it socialism, but asking me and my husband to pay 12 to 14% taxes is doing our shares. It doesn't make sense to me.
From here, it's a short step to all the rest of socialism, to determining his pay. And pretty soon, your son won't decide when he's in school where he will go or what he will do for a living. He will wait for the government to tell him where he will go to work and what he will do. One day, as Norman Thomas said, we will awake to find that we have socialism. One of these days, you and I are going to spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.